The past few weeks have been a lot. A lot has happened in the UK, a lot of big changes. Well, there's a new king for starters, and there's a new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, which means new regulations, new policies, and all of this has led to an increased debt, which means the pound is now falling. Now, obviously, with the new PM come a bunch of other changes. Some of these changes affect you directly, while others don't. Now, the one that affects you directly is about immigration, and here's the thing, it's good news. In a few weeks' time, there is going to be a review of UK's immigration policies, and here's the best part. If you're looking to move to the UK, it definitely means that your path might have just gotten easier and simpler. Now, to give you some context, post-Brexit, there's been a huge shortage of labour in the country, and this has been directly affecting business and the economy as a whole. Now, apart from this, COVID and COVID's challenges also played a huge role in what happened. So to give you an idea, just last month, 2 million jobs were advertised in the UK, and of this, the social care sector itself advertised for 105,000 jobs. Now, at the moment, there's a shortage of 40,000 nurses in the country, 100,000 heavy vehicle good drivers, and 30,000 seasonal workers working in the agricultural industry. Now, a survey by the British Chamber of Commerce of 5,700 companies saw that 60% of these companies were looking to hire, but about 75% of these companies were struggling to hire. Now, in the construction segment itself, 83% companies were struggling to hire for roles that they had open. Now, overall, a lot of companies have been saying that they're feeling extremely frustrated with the situation they're in, where they have massive shortages and they feel that the skilled worker visa doesn't really meet these challenges quickly enough. Now, in the light of all of this, the new PM has only one goal: to focus relentlessly on economic growth, and even if that means implementing some extremely unpopular policies. So what are the suggestions that are being discussed and could possibly be pushed through in the coming few weeks? Well, for starters, lifting the cap on seasonal agricultural workers. A recent government report actually reported that the farming and agricultural industry was facing shortages to such an extent that there was food left rotting in fields, fruit was rotting, they had to cull unnecessarily healthy animals, and all because they had shortages of labor. The Seasonal Workers Program, which was introduced in 2019, has a cap of 40,000 workers coming from outside the country to fill in roles in the horticulture and agriculture sectors. Now, from the looks of it, this cap is about to be lifted. And apart from that, the 6 months time frame that is usually allotted to these visas might also be extended. Now, some of the other changes that are being considered are lifting restrictions on broadband engineers moving into the country. Now, the reason why the focus is on broadband engineers is because Liz Truss had made a pledge to make 85% of the homes in the UK available with full-fledged broadband, fiber broadband by 2025. So in order to meet that pledge, they're looking at relaxing the restrictions put on broadband engineers moving into the country. Now, some of the other changes that are being considered are lower visa costs, removing the unusual obligation on employers to prove that that employee needs to be hired from outside for a role. Because like you know, in most cases, when employers have to apply for a visa for their employees to work in the UK, they have to prove that that role could not be met with the labor force that was already in the country, and that they had to hire from outside the country to meet that because of specific requirements. They're looking to relax that to make it a lot easier to hire from outside. They're also looking at making changes to the shortage occupation list, which would allow key sectors to hire from outside the UK. Now, in case you're wondering what a shortage occupation list is, it's basically the list of roles that the government maintains which they feel are in a shortage in the country, and so the rules for recruiting for these roles specifically are a lot more relaxed. Some of the other changes also include easing the English language requirements so as to hire for certain categories in the UK from outside the country. There's also talk of a new visa for graduates who have just graduated from the top 50 or 100 global universities in the world. And apart from this, there's also talk of removing the salary threshold of £35,800 to relax the rules to apply migrants to apply for an ILR to remain indefinitely in the country. Now, speaking of moving to the UK, like I mentioned in a previous video, in a few weeks, I will be launching my own program on how you can move to the UK, how you can get admissions in that college, how you can get a job, resume templates, types of visas, all of the 9 yards. So if you're serious about moving to the UK, visit the description below. There's a link that you can click which will take you to the program and allow you to sign up for it. There is also an early bird discount if you'd like to sign up early. and you can find all of those details below as well. Now, in terms of the proposed changes to the immigration policies that we were just talking about, how does this impact you? Well, here's the thing. If you've been struggling to move to the UK, it's really good news because it definitely means these things. It means more job opportunities that are willing to offer visa sponsorship. It also means that depending on your roles, the eligibility requirements might be a little more relaxed. It means that the processes might get faster, so you might get your visas a lot faster than it's taking right now, and the route to settlement might have just gotten easier. Brilliant, right? Well, here's the thing. You can sit tight and wait now until this all gets approved. Or what you can do is use the time that you have on hand to find out everything you need to know about moving to the UK. Most of the jobs that offer visa sponsorship to move to the UK are for skilled worker visas. And here's the thing. I've made an entire video on everything you need to know about the skilled worker visa, including how much it costs, what the eligibility requirements are, and how you can get yourself one. If you'd like to know more about this, all you need to do is click on this.